Hello, 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 and welcome to Dolphin's Dive, the weekly strategically minded Handelabra stream hosted by Dolphin. Handelabra believes in civil rights for everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against those goals are not welcome and will not be tolerated. You can follow us at Handelabra Games on Twitch and Handelabra on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can follow me personally at Dolphin on Twitch and Dolphin21 on Twitter and Dolphin no digits on YouTube. Saved it. Sentinels of the Multiverse, One Deck Dungeon, and Bottom of the Ninth Aeon's End are available on Steam, iOS, and Android devices, and Spirit Island, as of today, is in early access on Steam! Woo! Spirit Lewdland! Yeah! And you can get the games and more info at Handelabra.com. This is Spirit Island. Fosuk says he has no idea what is going on with Spirit Island, if that is what is going on today. Well, I have no idea what's going on with Spirit Island either. I have not played this game. I got the physical game. I think I might have asked for it for Christmas even, and my parents got it for me. And I was intending on playing it physically so I could, you know, get my feet wet on this before I start streaming it. But there's a bit of a problem. I opened it, and that's all I did. I didn't even do anything else. So I don't know anything about Spirit Island. I did lurk in a lot. Ooh, hey, there's a... This might come in handy, maybe? I'm sure the digital game has this intel, but hey, I'm gonna leave this out just so that I can have a cheat sheet over here. Yeah, it's how I learned Aeon's End 2. It's also how I learned One Deck Dungeon. I just stream it, and then we see how I learn it. Token punching is the best part! I mean, I was going to figure out if I should sleeve things, I think is why I ultimately didn't do things, and then I never got around to it. It would have meant my math class would be learning to play. Oh, yeah, I'd be spending my math class learning the game. Alright, so do let me know if the audio is a little off. I'm looking at the mixer. It sounds like my mic is... I mean, it looks visually like my mic is still louder than the game. But if... just in time for dinner, who am I, Sparky? Yeah, so it should look like my voice is louder, but, I mean, the way things look are always different than how they sound. You have a sleeping addiction. I'm going to assume you meant sleeving addiction. But yeah, I mean, I was going to look into, like, what kinds of sleeves to get for it, and I just ultimately didn't do anything. Yeah, so none of these settings, like, use 3D board. I mean, sure. Story-based game setup, sure. Automatic board zooming, yeah, sure. I mean, the experience level, obviously, like, this will change once I get better at it, but I'm going to stick with beginner because guess what? I'm a beginner. I'm the kind of person that when he gets a game, I mean, I don't usually go to the easiest difficulty, but if it's a game I know nothing about, I might. Like Resident Evil 3 that came out, like, 2 weeks ago, I played that on standard. But some people who are Resident Evil hardcore fans play it on hardcore. But I'm also a Resident Evil hardcore fan, except I don't play on hardcore. I don't know, but we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn today. Pretty sure at the moment experience level only affects quick game. Oh yeah, quick play. Okay, well. Let's see, let's hit the button that says how to play, and I'm not sure if there's like a tutorial in here like Aeon's End did. But at least we have some nice music to listen to while I try to skim this. Welcome to Dolphin Reads the Instructions Manual. Introduction. You are powerful spirits of the natural world existing on an isolated island. Invaders from beyond the known sea have recently begun their colonization of your island, killing the native islanders, a people called the Dahan. Dahan. Yeah, there's Dahan. That's the word Dahan. And upsetting the natural balance. The spirits of the island must grow in power and throw back the invaders before the island is blighted beyond hope of recovery. Gameplay overview. Let's try to use a different voice for each page. Spirit Island is a cooperative game where one of the four spirits of nature defend their island from invading colonists who have little regard for the well-being of the land or its native inhabitants, the Dahan. I'm not going to keep doing that. Every turn, all spirits act simultaneously, employing powers to push the invaders back, bolster the island, and aid the Dahan. The spirits start out small and limited and will have to learn some new tricks in order to catch up to the rapidly expanding invaders. Invader actions are automated by the game and involve spreading across the island to establish settlements, spreading blight in their path. To win, the spirits, with the help of the Dahan, must destroy the invaders and scare away any survivors. However, the game will end in defeat if the island is overrun by blight, if any spirit is destroyed completely, or if the spirits act too slowly and run out of time. So how to start a game? Hit new game, go figure. Or hit the quick play button to jump right into a randomly generated game. The nature of the game will depend on your experience level, which can be changed in the options. So, yeah, that's that. We might just go with a quick play because, well, I don't know anything, but I will just have, I'll just have faith that beginner does work in a beginner fashion. So I'll just skip the new game setup for now. Gameplay options. Adversaries. Adversaries are specific colonizing powers from the world of Spirit Island. Including an adversary in a game is optional. Is that going to be, oh, that is not going back to where it was. No adversary. Okay, so we'll skip the adversary part. Scenarios. Scenarios. Playing with scenarios is optional. Is that in beginner or not? No scenario, and also no blight card, and power progression is enabled. All right, so I'm just gonna like skip the things that we'll worry about later, because I can very easily get overwhelmed. One spirit mode. What games with only one spirit use a single board as the whole island. A spirit playing alone can target itself with powers that specifically target another spirit, though a solo spirit does not gain extra benefits from powers that are better when used on another spirit. Also, the luck of the draw is high, and there are no fellow spirits to compensate for the solo spirit's weakness and limitations. Which I suppose means nothing to you. It sets me up with a pre-set-up beginner game with River in the progression deck. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's an intro game here, but I read that it's not actually like a tutorial. It's just a fixed setup. Like the, well, kind of like the Sentinels one, except it does walk you through 2 rounds. But we'll see. First time players. Spirit Island is a complex game with many moving parts. Some recommendations for new players. Choose a low complexity spirit, like lightning swift strike, vital strength of the earth, river surges in sunlight, or shadows flicker like flame. Of these 4, shadows flicker like flame is the trickiest. Use the power progression option on a low complexity spirit to automatically gain a sequence of appropriately balanced power cards instead of choosing from a selection. Don't use a blight card. Don't use an adversary scenario. So that's what the quick play does. Whenever your spirits are ready for a more challenging game, the Kingdom of Brandenburg, Prussia is a good first adversary. It mostly modifies setup rather than introducing new rules. The kingdoms of England and Sweden involve more fundamental changes to how the invaders work, so we're not going to do that. The main section of the game screen shows the island board as well as the placement and quantities of presents, invaders, explorers, towns and cities, blight, and Dahan. Click and drag to pan the board and use the scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Cool, so standard zoom options. And click and drag and pan. That's, I'm used to that. Each spirit has a panel in the corner of the screen with summary information. Click the spirit to view the thing, spirit hint, finish menu, adversary. Well, there's no adversary. Oh, and all of these other things. Current phase, undo, fear, terror, blight, invader, power, scenario. So these 2 on the right, not worrying about. Do I really need to, I mean, yeah, the thing, this is describing the UI. During a game, you can use the undo button to change a decision in most cases. However, you cannot use undo once any new information is revealed. For example, when power cards are drawn, when an invader card is drawn, when a fear card is flipped over, when a blight card is flipped over. If you'd rather play the game with simplified graphics, you can use toggle use 3D board. The 2D board shows the quantity of like pieces using numbers when necessary. So that's 2D, that's 3D. I like the aesthetic of 3D. Is there a reason to want to use 2D other than it looks more like the physical game? Like I'm comparing these two pictures, although I guess they're not exactly the same. Or maybe they are. I'm like seeing the changes in icons. But I'm gonna stick with 3D because that's the default, and I'm going to assume the default is there for a reason. Spirit panels. The spirit summary panels in the corners of the screen contain important information about each spirit's energy, cards, powers, and elements. Click the spirit's portrait to bring up the full spirit panel. Look at this card pile. Hover over a card in hand to see more information. Innate power summaries show the elements required for each elemental threshold. Hover over one to see more information, or right-click to view it in full. The words hover over are one of those interesting combinations of English words that when they're right next to each other, you almost always mispronounce one or the other. Hover over. Hover over. And that's why English is difficult, because one extra letter changes how you pronounce one of the vowels. So let's see. So current energy gain per turn. So it's an energy-based game. That's what I'm getting from that. Discard. Number of card plays left this turn. Cards in hand. Innate power summary. Current elements. That's a lot of elements. During growth, buttons can appear in the top right of the Spirit Summary panel. These buttons are used to show temporarily hidden panels, like growth and presence and gain power. Okay. Cool. Starter game setup. Spirit setup. Each spirit starts on a different island board following the setup instructions on the back of their spirit panels. These always include putting presents onto one of their more lands in their starting board, and some spirits have additional instructions. Once the game begins, spirits are not restricted to play only on their starting board. Presents and powers may be placed or used on any board. All remaining presents moves onto the dash circles. All remaining presents moves onto the dash circles on each spirit's presence tracks. Leftmost numbers with solid circles remain uncovered. Invaders starting action. To finalize the start of game setup, the invaders take an initial action. The top card of the invader deck is revealed, and the invaders explore in that land. Then the revealed card moves to the build space at the bottom of the screen. So let's see what happens if I hit the intro game. We should see the setup, right? There's an explore. Something's moving. Someone's moving. Spirit phase. The spirits of the island grow in power. Aha. So that's the growth panel that I could minimize if I need to do something else. Actions I have left this turn. Actions gained per turn. Cards. Was that my discard and something else? Discard pile and number of card plays left this turn. Right. Yeah. I'm learning. I'm learning. I just automatically assumed it was a deck for some reason, but that does not seem correct. I'm guessing there isn't actually a deck, per se, that you draw from. Unless there is, and I just completely missed that information. So cards in hand. For those watching on YouTube, we got disconnected. Usually that means I need to refresh this window because otherwise chat is broken. And for those of you watching on YouTube, OBS is attempting to reconnect attempt 1. For whatever reason, attempt 1 always fails, whereas attempt 2 will succeed. Seems like my internet is fine, so... But it's always attempt 1 that fails. Yeah, and attempt 2 just succeeded immediately. Okay, so we have 0 cards in our discard. We have 1 play left, and we have 4 cards in hand. Boon of Vigor, Flash Floods, River's Bounty, and Wash Away. And I could right-click to bring them up like that. We have the summary of our power. Was that what it was? Innate power summary, as well as current elements that line around the edges. We have none of those. Cool. You're back! You're back too, maybe even your front. Yeah, so if I click this, does it pull up? No, I just have to keep going here. All right, yeah, so we're in the spirit phase. But let's go back to turn order. Yeah, that's where we were. Turn order. Each turn has the following phases. Spirits play simultaneously within each phase. Once all spirits are finished with their actions in a phase, the game proceeds to the next phase. Spirit phase, grow, gain energy, play, and pay for power cards. Fast power phase, resolve power cards and innate powers. Invader phase, blighted island effect, fear effects, ravage, build, explore, invader cards expand, or advance. Ugh. Yeah, I'll read the back of the spirit board in a second. I am just seeing. I'm going through this slowly. I sort of have a plan. Let's see. So ravage, invaders damage the land in Dahan. Build, invaders add towns and cities. Explore, new explorers are added. So that's what the new guys were, where they were adding explorers. Slow power phase, resolve power cards and innate powers. Time passes, played power cards go to personal discards. Damage and elements go away. Yeah, so we click on this and it pulls up our spirit card. River surges in sunlight. Special rules, river's domain. Your something in wetlands counts as something. I am assuming those are elements. I don't know what those are. Is there anything on this cheat sheet that says what the elements are? There's something on iconography. Oh, your presence in wetlands counts as sacred site. Aha! Yeah, but I have my cheat sheet right here. So I don't know what those words mean per se, but presence, a spirit's presence disc where they live in the land. So where you live in the land counts as a sacred site, a land where a spirit has 2 or more presence. Okay. I'm guessing that... range. Range 2 from a land with your sacred site. So my presence counts as a sacred site, so I have range 2 from a land with your sacred site. Normally it's range 1 from a mountain with your presence. Range 0, a land with your presence. Yeah, we'll figure out what these words mean someday. I don't see anything on here for the elements themselves, though. So I'm going to have to figure those out. Basically, sacred sites primarily matter for targeting powers. Okay. Alright, so growth, pick one. Reclaim cards, gain power card, gain energy, or add presence, or gain power card, add a presence. And that's what this is right there, yeah. And that's during our growth or something. Grow. Pick one option. You must do everything shown in the option. Some things happen automatically. I didn't read this through yet. So gain energy. You gain energy in addition to this turn's normal energy income. Reclaim cards. All played power cards from your discard pile are returned to your hand. Plus 1 card play this turn. The number of cards you can play is increased by 1 for this turn only. Other things require you to make a decision. Add presence. Click and drag a presence from your presence track to the board. Gain a power card. Click the minor or major power deck to choose which type of power card to gain. Then choose one of the 4 options presented. If you're using power progression, instead you will automatically gain the next card. Excuse me. Reclaim 1. Click your discard pile, then choose 1 power card to return it to your hand. Gather presence. Click the presence on the board to gather it. Push presence. Click the presence on the board, then the land you want to push it to. And because I have to, why don't we take this presence and move it somewhere else? Gain energy. Gain an amount of energy equal to the highest uncovered number on your energy presence track. Unspent energy carries over to the next turn. Energy is individual and cannot be transferred between spirits. I got that reference. Play and pay for power cards. So what's going on? Oh, 3 things in the following order. So we first grow, then we gain energy equals to the highest uncovered number on your energy presence track. So that's the energy presence track here is energy per turn. And play and pay, click the power cards, fast and slow, that you will use this turn. The maximum number of power cards you can play is the highest number on the card plays presence track, even if you have enough energy to pay for more. You'll immediately pay energy for all cards played, even slow ones. The card's energy cost is in the circle in the top left corner of the card. In addition, you immediately gain all elements from played power cards, even if the power's effects are slow. The effects of the power cards are not resolved until the appropriate power phase. Card plays are individual and cannot be shared with other spirits. Unused card plays do not carry over to future turns. You can change your mind and return a played card to your hand by clicking it in the play area when you're finished playing cards. Okay. So you're making card play decisions up front, is what that says. Yeah, so that's a picture of basically the situation we're in right now. Not exactly, but... So we could reclaim our discards. We gain a power card, we gain an energy. Or we add 2 presents, or add 1 presence, add 1 presence. Or we gain a power card, add 2 presents. And I'm guessing that means you have to put it on the same spot, is the difference between the two. So gain a power card. So gain a power card, you would click the minor or major power deck to choose which type of power card to gain. Then choose one of the 4 options presented. Unless you're using power progression, instead you will automatically gain the next card. And this only shows the discards for them. Cool. Oh, I see. That's range 2, yeah. Okay, no, I see what's going on here. I misinterpreted an icon on here, so I sounded pretty dumb a second ago. I'm looking at the range thing, because I was trying to see what holy sites do, or sacred sites, and I saw something about range 2 on a holy site, but that's not correct at all. I mean, it kind of is, but I don't know what these icons mean. I'm just making things up. But yeah, I am using power progression. I knew that much. I don't know what the progression is, but I'm using power progression. Okay, so that's that phase. I don't know yet what I want to do. So like Flash Floods is 2 energy, right? That's what that number is. That's the energy. Boon of Vigor is 0 energy. River's Bounty is 0 energy. Wash Away is 1 energy. So if I want to use Flash Floods, I would need to gain energy in order to use that, because I only have, or will have only 1. Yeah, the power decks are stacked. I don't know anything about them, though. So, do I know how they're stacked, or are they shuffled? Oh, God. My can of Coke has ants all over it. What the hell? That's scary. Good thing I looked before I drank. Jesus. Why are there ants all over this place? Hold on 1 second. I don't see like there's anything left out. Yeah, I'll just I'm gonna turn that off for a second because I don't want... I'm gonna do stuff for a moment, but I want... this? Yeah. Sorry guys, hold on to your butts. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the absence, but I wanted to investigate the ant situation. And, well, it wasn't really terribly dire. I think it was just that they were attracted to, like, we got Dairy Queen a couple nights ago. I think they were attracted to the Dairy Queen, like, remnants that were in my trash. The problem is that our house is basically on an anthill. We've been dealing with ants our entire lives. But, like, can't really do anything about it until you figure out what the culprit is. Like, what did you leave out? Or am I in the country? I am near Cleveland. I am a stone's throw away from Handelabra headquarters. So what other discussions are here? Talking about ants. You know how the decks are stacked if you have the rule book. Not sure if the game tells you how. Maybe. Maybe we'll stay somewhere in here. So yeah, so part 1 is grow, which we select an option. Part 2 is we gain energy. Part 3, we play and pay. And yeah. So we have 1 play because that's our rightmost thing here. We have innate powers down here. That is a slow power, because I'm checking it. Fast means before the invader phase, slow means after the invader phase. So slow power, and that symbol is the sacred site. I'm saying holy site. The sacred site, range 1, targets any land. And then these are the elements that I would probably need to pay for. I assume that the elements, I guess, like they said, you gain elements immediately when you play a card. Oh, and these symbols on the card also tell me whether they're fast or slow, right? This is a fast one. Yeah, it says right there, speed, fast. And these also give me the elements here. So if I wanted to push 1 thingy, that's explore, push 1, explore, or town. Gin dish soap and dilute with water for an insecticide and herbicide. I have an insecticide, that's for sure. Oh, and there's an ant right there. Oh, that's annoying. Grabbing the ant killer. And there's an ant just hanging around being all like, hey, bro. Your innate powers are active as long as you have that every element. Also, every tier is optional. Oops. So if I have that many, so it's not like I have to spend 1 yellow and 2 blue. It's just if I gain this as a result of these card plays. So if I want 1 yellow and 2 blue, this will give me 1 yellow, 1 blue. That would be 1 yellow, 1 blue, 1 yellow, 1 blue. So I could do River's Bounty and Boon of Vigor, and now it would give me 2 yellow, 2 blue, 1 red, 1 green. That would allow me to push 1 Explorer town, right? And you lose your played elements every turn, so you can't just keep this up consistently. Got it. Fast power phase. Fast powers include the innate powers from the spirit panels, as well as the power cards the spirits have played. The powers from all the spirits can be resolved in any order. If you have enough elements to activate an innate power, it will be shown in your play area. Hover over the power to see the available effects depending on the elements you have. To use a power, click and drag to choose a target. Most powers target lands on the board, but some powers target spirits. After choosing a target, the text of the power is resolved, which may require you to make more decisions before the power is complete. A power must be fully resolved before another can be used. If you do not want to use a power's text effect or cannot use it, you may choose to skip it entirely. Sometimes a power card would be worth playing purely for its elements. So you can skip powers and you can play just for elements. That's cool. You can't delay using a fast power until the slow phase, even if you want to. Use it during the fast power phase or forego it. When all powers have been resolved, the game automatically proceeds. And if you want to skip, you can just do the thing. Spirit 1 uses their fast power to target a land without blight where they have presence because the range is 0, and gathers 1 explorer from an adjacent land onto it. Spirit 2 then uses their fast power to target the same land and gathers 1 Dahan into it. Spirit 2 now destroys the explorer spirit. The explorer, Spirit 1 previously gathered into the land. With the Dahan, they just gathered into the land. These capitalized words are a bit misleading at times because it looks like Explorer Spirit 1, as in this is Explorer Spirit number 1, but that means Explorer, pause, Spirit 1. But I'm sure like those are capitalized because those are game terms and they're usually capitalized. And that's a picture of the board. Is that what is this showing what's happening here? That was the previous turn. This is the next turn, maybe? Is that actually the case? I can't really tell. It looks like this is not really necessarily the immediate actions of the previous image. I don't know. Target a land without blight where they have presence because the range is 0 and gathers 1 explorer from an adjacent land. I'll figure out what these words mean. Oh yeah, this also has only 1 spirit on it. Yeah, none of this actually. I guess this is only showing the finish using powers button. The example has nothing to do with this. Cool. Using powers. Is it the same text? No, this is just using powers. Using powers in general, I guess. Spirits affect the game using powers, which are either power cards or innate powers printed on a spirit panel. Innate powers function similarly to power cards, except they are automatically available every turn and require having certain elements rather than spending energy. When resolving a power's effects, as much as can be done is done. If one part does not apply or cannot be done, it is skipped and the rest of the effects happen. The only targeting restrictions are those in the target bar. If you cannot or do not want to use a power, perhaps the board situation has changed, you're allowed to skip its effects entirely. If it was a power card, you don't get your energy back, but you do still get to use the elements granted by the card. So, power card. 2 energy, elements, moon and leaf. Ah, they're down here. Sun, moon, fire, air, water, earth, plant, and animal. Okay, those are relatively straightforward. Air is purple. I guess I should know by the leaf symbol. Or, well, I thought that was a leaf symbol, but I guess that's also on the plant card. It is not Pokemon, this is not grass. And animal is the claws. Sun, moon is obvious. Fire, water is obvious. Air, earth, plant, animal. I'll need to remember that. So the speed, yeah, that's the speed icon. The range, the target, range. Oh, power card, innate power. Okay, I was like, why does this have 2 different things? But this is not saying this is the same thing. This is a card, this is innate power. Air is a feather. Oh, I guess that makes a little more sense than a leaf then, huh? Yeah, so that's the card icon. This is, well, innate power, except I guess once we get to the actual power phases, we'll see it. So I know I have my spirit phase here that I should resolve. I just want to kind of see how the rest of the turn is supposed to go, so I can be a little more informed as to how this is going. Hello, Hankroyd. How are you doing? When you play a power card, you gain the elements shown. Some powers have extra effects if you have gained specific elements. Elements do not carry over from turn to turn. You gain elements the moment you pay for a power card, regardless of whether the power is fast or slow, and they go away as soon as it leaves play, usually during time passes. Elemental thresholds are optional effects which may only be used if the spirit has gained certain elements this turn. The required elements are not used up. The threshold is simply a check to see if they are in play. So that's what we were talking about with the innate power. A power can always be resolved as if the spirit has fewer elements than they actually do. In the rare case you wish to do so, right-click on the power and click a threshold to temporarily disable it for 1 power usage only. The base effect and all threshold effects that are met are resolved in order from top to bottom. However, if the threshold says instead, it replaces the effects of previous levels. You tried Spirit Island, you know you suck a lot in this game. We're just trying to figure out the icons and the rules, or well, mainly the turn order, as well as the terminology. So basically everything. Fast powers resolve their effects before the invader. Slow powers resolve afterwards. Power cards also show their speed by red or blue. Blue is slow, red is fast, turtle is slow, bird is fast. It's out! That's cool. Is that L or J? It's JNE. Is that IL Jenny or is it LJNE? Also, because of how I size this window, I have to drag that. You need to play this game 2 to 3 times before you get used to it. Challenge accepted! If the speed of a power has been altered by some effect temporarily, then it shows it. Yeah. So it keeps the original scheme, but just the color is changed. And I'm sure that's more of an in-game or a digital effect than a physical effect, although maybe, I don't know, maybe there are icons that say that. Range refers to how many lands away from your presence a power can reach. This is a maximum. You can always use a shorter range. Some powers have limitations on what sort of land you can use them from, such as only from a sacred site or only from a specific terrain. A range of 0 means a land where you have presence. Aha. That's not the back button. So that's what that meant. That range 2 means that we can target things that are 2 away. Although I'm not sure yet about what the presence and what range for the presence means. But now it says on this card, like, range 1 from any presence, push up to 3 travelers, explorers, and towns. Oh, okay. So this is not the range tied to the presence. It's I can add a presence that's 2 away. Okay, so this is add one presence, each that have to be 1 away from another one. This is add a presence that is 1 or 2 away from another presence. If Spirit Island could launch nuclear strikes, I feel like that's not really the intent of the game there. You're supposed to be one with the land, not, you know, one with the technology. Target. The target is what that power can affect. Most powers can target any type of land, but some are restricted by terrain, what's in the land, or whether it's coastal or inland. Powers always target one single land unless explicitly stated. Some powers target a spirit instead of land. Or 0 away. Okay, so you can put on top of another one. Okay. Effects are what the power does. All effects take place in the single target land unless explicitly stated otherwise. Destroy all towns means destroy all towns in target land, not destroy all towns in the game. Effects are performed in order, and any that cannot be followed or skipped. Effects that do not change anything on the board, such as invaders do not build in target land, asked only for the current turn. Yes, Hank, this is my first game. I am reading through the rules before I play. Or as I play, although I haven't been playing. Yeah, so effects, effects that do not change anything, last only for the current turn. Effects that change something, such as, is this such as an effect that changes anything on the board, or do not change anything on the board? Well, we'll find out. Single turn effects. A few powers have temporary effects on a land, such as invaders skip all actions. Temporary land effects are indicated by an icon on that land. Click on the icon to see the card responsible for that effect. A year of perfect stillness. Whatever that means. 1 range any. I know that much now. It's a fast power, 3 energy, gives you a sun and earth. I was gonna say that looks like a bat, but I guess the earth symbol is the mountain, is what that means. Gaining power cards. You usually gain new power cards via growth, but some power effects can grant them. New power cards always go into your hand. Whenever you're told to gain a power card, choose whether you're gaining a minor or major, then 4 cards are drawn from that deck, reshuffling the card's discard pile if necessary. Select one drawn power card, the others are discarded back into the discard pile. We have progression, so it's actually you draw 1, it's stacked. After you get a new major power, you must permanently lose one of your power cards. Forgotten minor and major power cards are discarded to the appropriate discard pile. Forgotten unique powers are removed from the game. Okay. You permanently lose one of your power cards. When you get a new major, you lose one of the powers, which could be minor, is what I'm interpreting that as. Forgotten unique powers are removed from the game, but forgotten minor and major power cards are discarded to the appropriate discard pile. So I'm guessing that when it says permanently, in that instance, it's actually saying it discards into the minor power discard or the major power discard, at which point, once you exhaust the deck, you would shuffle the discard and be able to get it back. But the unique power, yeah, the one that, the massive flooding power is, if I forget that one, it's gone forever. But like these power cards, I guess would go into my discard. Oh, you can't forget the innate. Never mind. Unique powers. Oh. Is it these? These are the unique ones? I have no idea. I guess that makes more sense then. I can't, like, I was thinking, like, how would I lose this? Like, it's supposed to always be there, but when you play a power, all played power cards from your discard are returned to, oh, right, yeah, so that's what Reclaim there does. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. Undo. I just wanted to click that, but it's not what I wanted to choose necessarily. Okay, so each spirit starts with 4 uniques. Those are the 4 uniques. Cool. That's not how to play. You also have the option to forget power cards from your hand or discard, or forget a power card in play. If you forget a power card from play, you immediately lose the elements it provided, and if you haven't used it yet, you don't get to. If you already used it, its effects continue until end of turn. Okay. So you can forget a power card from your hand, or discard, or play. We're learning! Yay! We also had to deal with ants in the middle of this. I know people are getting antsy for me to start playing this game, huh? Sorry, I had to make that joke. Invader phase. The invader phase has 4 stages: Blighted Island when appropriate, Fear, Invader Actions, Ravage, Build, and Explore, and Advance Invader cards. Blighted Island. If the Blight card has flipped to Blighted Island, the text on it is resolved each turn, otherwise nothing happens. Fear. If any fear cards have been earned, they are resolved one at a time in the order they were earned. They are then discarded to the fear discard. Only effect listed next to the current terror level is used. This could be higher than when the card was earned. Fear effects last only for the current turn. All right. So, I guess we have 0 fear. Terror is at 1. Victory condition. No explorers, no towns, no cities. That's what I'm interpreting that as. Am I able to see other terror levels, or is this just how it's set up? Healthy Island. 5 thingamabobbers. 5 blight per player. If there is ever no blight here, you lose the game. Okay, I'm clicking on stuff that we haven't necessarily gotten to in the rules yet. Just clicking around and seeing, you know, just all fine. 3 action phases: Ravage, Build, and Explore. RBE. Robots. Buy. Energy. I don't know. I'm trying to rename RBE. The invader card in an action space determines which lands will be affected by that action. If there is no invader card in that space, no action is taken. The invader card in an action space determines which lands will be affected by that action. If there is no invader card in that space, I'm just trying to think what that means. Ravage. If there is an invader card in the Ravage action space, then the invaders ravage in each land of the shown type only. In most cases, the order of lands is chosen automatically. If the order could affect the outcome, you'll be prompted to click lands in the order you wish, or click choose for me! First, invaders deal damage simultaneously to the land in Dahan. Then any surviving Dahan fight back. Whenever there are invaders in these lands, invaders deal damage, 1 per explorer, 2 per town, and 3 per city. Total damage reduced by any defend powers played. Then, simultaneously, invaders fight the Dahan. Every 2 points of damage destroys 1 Dahan. Dahan is destroyed as efficiently as possible. Damage cannot be dispersed among multiple Dahan to avoid killing them. If a Dahan is dealt 1 damage, it is turned over to show that it is damaged. Any surviving damaged Dahan will recover at the end of the turn. Invaders damage the land. If 2 or more damage is dealt, a blight is added to the land. This only happens once, no matter how much damage is dealt. Partial damage to the land is ignored. Effects of Blight. Cascading. Whenever Blight is added to a land, if that land already had Blight, additional Blight is added to one adjacent land. Click on adjacent land. Click an adjacent land to choose which one gets the Blight. If that adjacent land already has Blight, it cascades again from there, and so forth. Presence. Adding Blight to a land destroys 1 presence from each spirit in that land. Destroyed presence is removed from play. After invader damage has been fully resolved in a land, any surviving Dahan there fight back. Each Dahan deals 2 damage to the invaders. The Dahan will fight back even if the ravaging invaders... There's an ant. Still have ants over here. Well, the one ant. I'm not like right here. Hold on a second. Say hello to Mama Dolphin, by the way. She's very shy. She wouldn't want to know that, she wouldn't want me to know I introduced her. This is what the the ants were after. Those bugs aren't my fault. So I'm kind of... Well... I will have to be very careful with this because ants are gonna want this, but I don't know where the ants are because we don't have enough fear yet. What is this? A blizzard for ants? Did I read all of this? Invader damage is fully resolved. Dahan fight back. Dahan deal 2 damage to the invaders. Dahan will fight back even if the ravaging invaders deal no damage, for example due to defend powers, but not if the ravage action has been skipped or stopped from happening altogether. Damaged invaders will be signed automatically if no decision is needed, otherwise will be prompted. Spirit presence does not fight back as invaders do not directly attack the spirits. Well, that's cool. So this is all Ravage. And it's if there's an invader card in the Ravage action space. And this is what happens afterwards. So this does not have a card in the Ravage space. That's why there was no Ravage action there. I can right click here to see what the card looks like. Build has S on it. Super. Then it's build. The invaders build in each land of the type shown by the invader card in the build action space. Whenever there are invaders in the specified type of land, they add either 1 city or 1 town. If the land has more towns than cities, a city is added. In all other cases, a town is added. Towns and cities are not built in lands without invaders. And then explore. The top card of the invader deck is flipped over. Then invaders explore inaccessible lands of the shown type only, venturing forth from towns and cities or approaching from the ocean. An explorer is added to every land of the shown type which either contains a town or city or is adjacent to a town, city, or ocean. No matter how many sources are in or adjacent to an explored land, only one explorer is added. Explorers are added directly from the supply, not moved around on the board. If the card has a icon, I don't see it on this sheet, and you are playing with an adversary, well, that's not, I don't have adversaries, so I'm not going to worry about that. Sand. Is that a sand icon? Most Stage 2 escalation. Most Stage 2 cards have an icon. Its effect depends on your adversary. If you're playing without an adversary, ignore the icons. Escalation effects happen as soon as the card is revealed. Stage 3 cards show 2 terrains with a plus between them. Invader actions affect lands of both shown terrains. Oh, it's just an escalation icon. Okay. Fair enough. So that's the type that they added to, yes, or built. That's where they built? Well, they added, what, 2 explorers, 1 there, 1 there? Is that what I saw happen when the game started? That one explored. Every land of the shown type. Okay. So we had a town here, we had a town here, and the shown type was this? I mean, I don't know what... Is this just the Explorer deck, or is that the Explorer card? Sand explored. Oh, is this saying this is sand? They explored into sand. Then it moved to the build slot for the next turn. Oh! Okay. So there was no building. This was the card that was revealed. And then it was moved. Is that how I'm interpreting this correctly? All right. All right, so advanced invader cards. After explore, all of the invader cards moved left. The ravage card moves to the discard. The build card to the ravage, the explorer to the build. So that next turn they will ravage where they built and built where they explored. The game then automatically moves to the next phase. Aha! Slow power phase. Players resolve slow powers, which may be either innate powers from their spirit panel or power cards they played, working just like the fast power phase. Time passes. This is the wrap-up phase at the end of each turn. Discard. All power cards played this turn are discarded into their spirit's discard piles. Damage and elements clear. All elements go away. All damage done during the turn goes away. All single turn effects expire. Got it. So they explored here. Next turn they're going to build a town there. And a town there. And then the turn after that, they ravage in those lands. But only if there's a town in those lands, right? So ravage. Invaders deal damage simultaneously to the land in Dahan. Any surviving Dahan fight back. Whenever there are invaders in these lands, invaders deal damage, 1 per explorer, 2 per town, 3 per city. Total damage is reduced by any defend, and then yeah. And then the build, which happens after that, they build based on the land type in the build space. If there are invaders in this land, they add a city or a town, only in that land. They add, if there are more towns than cities, they add a city, otherwise they add a town. So they have 1 town currently on those spots. If they add a town to that spot, they'll add a city. The ones that they're currently situated in that they're going to build in have nothing, so they're going to build a town. If there's no invader card left to flip over in the explore phase, you lose. I think I read that somewhere. It was somewhere. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere early on. Super early on. Maybe, maybe not. Nope, that's the introduction. That's where we started. I thought I did see like lost conditions somewhere. But that makes sense. You can't just stall the game. You need to win before the deck exhausts. Start of concepts. Well, now we're in concepts. Victory. At the start of the game, the invaders are at terror level 1. They're not afraid of the island and probably aren't even aware of the spirit's existence. To win, you need to completely clear the island of invaders. As you earn fear cards, you will reach new terror levels with easier victory conditions. Anytime you meet the current victory condition, you immediately win. The invaders have had more than they can take and abandon the island immediately. Or entirely. Terror level 1, no invaders on that island. Terror level 2, no towns or cities on the island. Terror level 3, no cities on the island. Terror level victory. Immediate victory. So... interesting. In defeat, you can lose in 3 ways. Too much blight. If the last blight comes off of the blight card, the blight card instructions are followed. These are often, you lose. The spirit is destroyed. If any spirit has no presence left on the island, you lose. Time runs out. If you need to draw an invader card to explore but the invader deck is empty, you lose. In the rare case that a single power card or other effect causes you to both win and lose, you win a sacrifice victory. You are destroyed, but the island, the Dahan, and many other spirits survive. A win is a win. Fear is generated by spirit powers with the fear symbol, and by destruction, either directly by an effect or by damage. Destroying a town generates 1 fear, and destroying a city generates 2 fear. Fear terrifies the invaders as a whole. Terrifies, not terrifies, terrifies. Like powers, effects of fear cards last for the current turn only unless they change the board in some way. After each fear card is resolved, it moves to the fear discard. When you reveal a new terror level, yeah. So the terror level's here. That's what that means, right? Or is that the number of fear you need? Yeah, so I get. I'm guessing these are terror levels. I mean, I just literally read about terror levels, but each player removes 1 traveler, explorer, not traveler, and town from a land with the sacred site. Level 2, each player removes 1 explorer or town from a land with presence. Level 3, each player removes 1 explorer or town from a land with presence, or 1 city from a land with sacred site. Terror level goes up each 3 cards. Okay. Fear earned through fear effects. Most fear effects do not cause more fear. They remove invaders rather than damaging or destroying them. However, there are exceptions. If a new fear card is earned this way, it goes to the bottom of the stack of cards currently being resolved. Fear from destruction. Whenever a city or town is destroyed via damage or otherwise, it frightens the invaders and generates fear. If you remove or replace a city or town, it does not generate this automatic fear. And it's one fear per town, 2 fear per city. Okay. The game is played with 1 island board per spirit, laid out to make an island. Each island board is divided into 8 numbered land with exactly 2 of each terrain. Most pieces only affect other pieces in the same land unless explicitly specified. 2 lands are adjacent when they touch, even if they're not on the same island board or meet only at a corner. Each board also shows a swath of ocean to indicate which lands are readily accessible by sea. Lands adjacent to the ocean are coastal, lands not adjacent to the ocean are inland. The other island borders are considered rocky cliffs and do not count as coastal. The ocean itself is not a land and is not in play. I'm reading the rules, don't judge. I will start the game soon, I'm sure, maybe. We had to deal with an ant situation for a little bit, which is why we're still in the middle of rules. How many cards are left here? Presence, Blight, Spirits, Invaders, Dahan, Damage, Power, Fear, and then Icons, Powers, Game Pieces. Is this the reference section? Yes. When we get to Icons, that's reference. Yeah, we got through the turn order. So, yeah, I think I have an idea of how a turn goes. It's just a matter of understanding some of the... Like, I'm still not 100% clear on the presence stuff yet. Which is why we're on the presence thing now. If I'm going to listen to anyone read the rules of a game I programmed, it would be Lewd. Aw. Spirit presence marks the lands a spirit occupies. Lands with presence are sometimes referred to as your lands. But your land is my land. My land is your land. Lands with presence are your land. If presence is ever destroyed, for example by invaders blighting the land, it is removed. If any spirit ever has no presence left on the island, the spirits immediately lose. A land can hold any number of presence from any number of spirits. Repositioning presence. It is rarely relevant, but whenever you would add a presence from your presence track, you may instead move one of your presence from anywhere on the island. This is most often useful when all your presence is in play, since it allows you to reposition it. This may be the same land the presence is already on if you want to leave it where it is. Okay. Interesting. So what that means then, these are presences here? Yeah, this is presence here. So when I gain a presence, like from this growth, I also get these bonus effects, like extra energy, extra card plays. Right? Those are your presence. And is this the one that's... If you present the presence, then you are given a present. But only in the present. The presence is present. The present, presently the presence is present. Presently the presences present their presence that they present. Ha! See what I did there? You tend not to win your first game anyway. Just accept that you're gonna lose. So where are we? We were in concepts, I think. Sacred sites. A spirit's sacred sites are any land where the spirit has more than one presence. Some powers can only be used from these places of focused influence. But our thingamabobber, my special rules, in wetlands, my presence count as a sacred site. Which one's wetlands? It's the one that it's in right now, right? This thing here. Like, see, I can move and drag. Look at this. Like, that's a presence, right? That's that thing. And that's, I believe, wetlands. Wetlands, grass, sand, mountain. So I technically, well, not technically, but pretendably have a sacred site. The island is healthy at the start of the game, but invaders slowly but inexorably blight the land. Too much blight will overwhelm the island. When the island becomes blighted, the blight card flips. The blight card never flips back because the island cannot heal from blighted to healthy within the time span of the game. Okay, that's cool. So a healthy island, except presumably, and what was that icon again? Blight. 5 blight per player. If there's ever no blight here, you lose the game. So is there no unhealthy island in this game? Or in this, not this game period, but what I'm playing? Or does it say when the island becomes blighted, but If you're playing without a blight card, then you lose the game when the blight tokens run out. After setup, whenever blight is added to the land, including when blight cascades, 2 bad things happen. Destroy presence. In that land, 1 presence from each spirit with presence there is destroyed. Destroyed presence is not returned to the spirit panels. Cascade. If a land already had any blight, you must click on adjacent land to add 1 additional blight. If that adjacent land also has blight, it will then cascade there. Yeah. You clipped it. Spirits. Each spirit has 4 unique power cards and a spirit panel with growth presence tracks. Yeah, so each spirit has options for regathering of strength, reaching out to new lands, and learning new powers. When a spirit chooses a growth option, they will select 1 section and take all the actions. So we already knew that. And we already mainly know this. Presence is already always taken from left to right. Progressively greater benefits are revealed. Removing presence from the top track and the bottom track. Yeah, so that's what I already knew. These benefits are not additive. Destroyed presence is removed from play but not returned to the presence tracks. It is shown at the top of the presence panel. So you can regain them, but they won't be... So you'll still have the permanent effects, but you'll have to regain the things without the benefit. Oh, keyboard things, yeah. Where are we? Some spirits have a reclaim 1 space. While the space is revealed, the spirit may return 1 power card to their hand anytime during the spirit phase, so the ability can be used the turn it is revealed, letting them go longer before having to take a reclaim all growth option. To reclaim the card, click your discard pile, then click the card you wish to reclaim. So this is once per turn. You can return 1 power card to your hand anytime during the spirit phase. Some spirits have bonus elements on their presence tracks. These constantly provide 1 of the shown elements or as long as the space is revealed. A space marked with any grants 1 element each turn. The spirit may choose which element they get at any time, but then cannot change it until the next turn. Click any element on your spirit summary panel to gain it. So, we do not have any eddies. We do not have any eddies. But we have a reclaim 1, so that's cool. Spirits have free powers that can be triggered using elements unless explicitly specified. Innate powers never cost energy or use card plays. Like all powers, they target a single land or spirit unless explicitly stated otherwise. I'm just gonna skim most of this at this point. This is just concepts. Explorers, towns, cities. Explorers are invaders willing to travel into uncharted wilderness. They have 1 health and deal 1 damage. Explorers are not themselves a source when invaders explore. Towns represent homesteads. They have 2 health, 2 damage. They act as a source of explorers. Cities have 3 health, deal 3 damage. Cities act as a source of explorers. Destroying towns and cities affects the invader's morale. Whenever a town is destroyed, it generates 1 fear. Whenever a city is destroyed, yep, we knew that. The Dahan are the native human inhabitants of Spirit Island who coexist well with the island and the spirits. Each island board starts with 6 Dahan pieces. Population growth in the game's time span occurs only with a few powers which grant blessings of health, fertility, and good harvests. There is no limit to the number of Dahan on the board. Dahan only attack invaders when a spirit power prompts them to do so or when attacked themselves. After invaders ravage a land, any surviving Dahan in that land each deal 2 damage to the invaders in that land. Each Dahan has 2 health, meaning they are destroyed by 2 damage from invaders. Damage from spirits does not hurt Dahan, although some spirit powers cause Dahan casualties as a terrible side effect. Are these the Dahan? I'm guessing so. So we start with 6, right? So we have 2 here. They don't retaliate innately, though, but they have 2 there. Those are the Dahan. Woohoo! They can grow, but only with a few powers which grant blessings of health, fertility, and good harvests. They are definitely not wooden screw covers. And then tracking damage. When it has taken 1 damage, it is turned on its side with 2 buildings facing up. I'm trying to figure out what those visuals... So it's turned on its side. So, like, obviously this is, like, when it's facing straight up. This looks like it's turned... Okay, well, it's just a means of tracking damage anyway. Dahan take 2 damage. It is flipped upside down. Ah, those are Dahan. Some effects remove invaders, representing them fleeing in terror. Some terror. Some replace invaders. First, the invader is removed, then you put something else in its place. A replaced invader keeps any damage it had. Some powers destroy invaders outright. Destroying a town generates 1 fear. Removing and replacing does not. Yeah, the images didn't really make sense from what I'm seeing here. I guess because the way I'm looking at this first image, it looks like this thing in front is flat, but from this side, it looks like it's actually... Can I actually get a better image here? No, you can't. It's the same. The rotation is just brought from physical. Okay. That's fair. Whenever a power or other effect says damage, damages invaders unless explicitly specified otherwise. When dealing damage, it is done to any invaders in the target land, divided among them however you choose. So you can divide it. So when it says deal 2 damage, you can deal 1 and 1? Is that what that means? I don't know. I still have no idea what what it is. And that is what that means. All right, good. If an invader is taking damage greater to or equal to or greater than his health is destroyed, damage may be combined from multiple powers. Any remaining damage on survivors heal. Invaders are not the only recipients. Recipients also damage heals, by the way. I said heal because I was dumb. Survivors heals, but it's the damage. Yeah. English. Invaders are not the only recipients. Land and Dahan can take damage, but Those spirits do not harm the land or Dahan. Some powers let you defend a target land. And then things are additive. Once the island has become blighted, it will not return to healthy no matter how much blight you remove. Move that many things into the target land from lands adjacent to it. When you gather one town or gather up to 3 Dahan, that means move that many things into the target land from lands adjacent to it. Gather only pulls things in from lands adjacent to the target. Boosts to a power's range do not affect gathering distance. Other powers tell you to push things. Why don't we take this explorer and move it somewhere else? Repeating a power. Once you activate this effect again, it does not give you the elements again. And repeats cannot be chained. Ignore any repeat effects on a repeated power. Oh boy! Do you want to hear a joke? Pete and Repeat were in a boat. Pete fell out. Who was left? Repeat. Pete and Repeat were in a boat. Pete fell out. Who was left? Alright. Repeated power is the same speed as the original. In addition, changes to a power carry over to the repeat use. You may make different choices. If a repeat specifies where to use it, obey those instructions. Otherwise, you can choose any valid target, including the same target as its first use. Repeating a power card doesn't count as playing another power card. It does count as using a new power. That's what this game is missing. All right, we made it to the reference sheets. Yay. Okay. So, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this stream. Next week we'll play... No, I'm kidding. Okay, I at least have a better idea as to what words mean. Ooh, we also have a glossary. Cool. And we're back at the introduction. All right. 8:30, let's go. You ready to see me lose my first game? There's no need to reclaim cards because we got nothing in our discard. I don't know if we want to gain a power because we don't really know what powers are. We know they're going to build on these spots. Do they... Sorry, I'm going to keep doing this the entire game, just so you're aware. Are they going to... Do they need an explorer in their land in order to build? Whenever they're invaders in the specified type of land. Okay, yeah. So invaders build up the towns, and then otherwise they build cities if there's a sufficient rule. This is gonna be awkward because I don't have any wipes nearby. All right, I'm just gonna have a sticky finger. Hey, ants, come to my finger. Ignore the blizzard. Come to my finger. Yeah, so... So they're not going to ravage, but they're going to try to build in these lands. Invaders are any white piece. Invaders does not mean explorer. Okay, so we have an invader in the green. We have an invader in the yellow. We have 2 invaders in the yellow. Okay. And I just want to double check what they're actually called. Is it in the reference? Not really. I just want to see... Oh, there it is. No. I just want to see the types of land that we have. No? Okay. Well, I'm just going to call them yellow, green, Orange and blue. Or not orange, gray. This is actually a sacred site, at least. Right? That's the symbol for sacred site? Or is that just saying it's acting like a sacred site? Ah, so this is sands. This is jungle. Nope, sorry, that's sands. This is jungle. This is wetland. And this is mountain, right? Did I get that right? Oh, what is this one, by the way? This bubbly icon here. You got 6 Dahan. Oh, is that Blight? Okay, it's Blight. We got a Blight. No symbol for ocean, but ocean is a terrain type too. Is this the ocean over here, or is that just... Are all of these... So... Oh yeah, I guess that's if you're connecting to other things. But like, so all of this around here is the ocean, right? So the only inland things in this game are... Or is it actually only this thing? Or is it... No. Oh, no. It's not everything. Okay, this is all just... I interpreted it all as ocean. But this is the actual technical ocean. So these 3 are coastal. And then the other 5 are inland. Oh, this is the table. This is what I flip when I lose. Okay, got it now. I understand everything. It all makes sense now. Okay. Still haven't really figured out what I'm gonna do. This is gonna be the longest first turn. They're going to want to build on the... What are they actually? The... sands. They're gonna build on the sands. They're not gonna ravage. They're gonna ravage in those lands in 2 turns. So let's see. I will have 1 energy. I have 1 play. So I can only play 1 even if I have more than energy. If I gain... Okay, so if I gain the presence, then I can actually get extra energy and card plays. And that would happen automatically. If I push, then... And this is only from any presence, right? These cards only work on presences. I think. Gather. Oh, hey. That adds Dahan. Okay. Try to stop ravages, then try to stop builds. All right, let me try to stop this next ravage. Done. Okay, so we could target this guy. So like if we use River's Bounty, I mean, I know we're not playing yet. We're doing growth, and then I might have additional options at that point based on if I gain a power card or whatnot. But like if I were to play River's Bounty, gather means you would take any, like it would have to target this land here. And it would say gather like any adjacent tile, move 2 Dahan to this tile. And then if there are now at least 2 Dahan in this space, you add a Dahan here and you gain an energy. This is a slow power. This happens after the invader turn. I kill Oblivion and ultimate villains like they are nothing. Excuse me, ultimate misinformation is a badass. And, well, I still don't really like, Progeny, but we're not here for Sentinels. We're here to watch someone learn Spirit Island. I'm just kind of like, I know I'm going so slow, but I just want to like be confident in what I'm doing as opposed to just doing random things to learn the game. I won my first game. I did win my first game. Did I? No. Or did I almost lose my first game? Or I know. No, I did. Yeah, I won my first game of Aeon's End. I lost my first game of One Deck Dungeon. If you target yourself, gain 1 energy. If you target another spirit, they gain 1 energy per power. Oh, and their target. Okay, I see. Target land, target land, target land. This is target is any spirit. Okay. If you target yourself and this is the only spirit, we gain 1 energy. Okay. Also these symbols, those elements that if we get it, we can also do these things. Target any member of your Zoom call. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like skimming through these. I'm not exactly sure. So this is the only damage thing we have is flash floods. Everything else is gathering or pushing or gaining energy. But if we move, let me just double check this again. But I was told that the invaders build in each land of the type when they're invaders. Yeah, so that's what the misconception was, is that any white piece is an invader. So we currently have 3 lands that have invaders in them. If there is a white thing in the build locations, like there's, yeah. So to minimize the growth of the invaders, we want to move invaders off of these squares if we can. Or not squares, but tiles. So that there will be no town or city in one of them, and then during the Ravage, they won't do as much damage. You can see the gears turning. So let's see. So we don't necessarily need to kill them per se to stop that. We just need to push them. But a slow power happens after they would build, so that wouldn't stop them from doing a thing. In fact, the only thing that would do damage is the flash floods. We don't have enough energy to use it. Our innate power, and we actually need the elements in order to even gain it. So it's not even like we start with anything. It's, you have to have 1 sun and 2 water to be able to push. That's also slow. Yeah, this turn they build in the sands, the next turn they ravage. The slow power here would affect their whatever they build, but it wouldn't affect their ravage. Or it would affect their ravage, it would not affect their build. Well, yeah, I mean, well, if I use a slow power, I can't stop the build from happening. Well, I mean, I can't stop them from building in the sand, but I would be able to affect or influence their ravage in the next turn. I have to be careful with terminology because technically I could affect their build next turn if I knew what they were building next turn. There's also an explorer. And you have the opportunity to move explorers who came from that before they can build. But we have, right, so they'll explore and we could do something in anticipation of that. Interesting. Yeah, so I still haven't figured out what I'm doing with my first turn. Oh, those are some summarizing. Okay. If I get 2 sun and 3 water, I can instead deal 2 damage and then push up to 3. Don't just focus on damage. Wash away would certainly push things away. So I can add a presence to this grass, which I can do with this third option. Then I could wash away, which can push some of the explorers away. I would need 3 card plays for 3 water. Okay, that's actually interesting. Yeah, so each one only grants 1. I got it. Got it. Alright, well, I'm gonna go and do this, and it gets me a card. And now I can't rewind, so... Or can I? I can. Never mind. It said gain a power card. Did I not have a choice, or... You'll just automatically gain the next card. Okay. Because power progression. So this is forcible. And the progression is known. Is there a way to see the progression, though? Because I'm not seeing it. I mean, these are just discard piles. Migrant P will show it someday. So what we got was no, we didn't get that. Uncanny Melting. If invaders are present, 1 fear. If target land is sand or water, remove 1 blight. Yes, but good thing it's not there for you yet, or your analysis paralysis would be too extreme. Oh, you John. Alright, so... It doesn't seem like getting more energy would be helpful unless I wanted to use Flash Floods. But I think that moving things would be a bit better, which Wash Away would do. Except, no, I can't. I'm not thinking of this right. It's because I can't. I'm pushing from the land I'm in. No, I'm okay, no. I'm getting myself confused here. I have my... So push up to 3. So if I put presence here, then I play Wash Away. First I target a land, so I target like this land maybe. Then it says push up to 3, so I take the 3 here, and then they can move to any of the adjacent ones. Right? That's what that means? Like, I had a level of confusion here because I'm like pushing, except I could push into where the presence is, and it's weird, but okay. It's the target line. I have to think about where that thing targets. It's not where it's from. But yeah, I think the energy is better because you hoard the energy, you don't hoard the card plays, right? Or do you? Unspent energy carries over. Unused card plays do not carry over. So, unless I anticipate playing more than one card... Or, this is like the opposite of what I just said 5 minutes ago. There's no point in getting more energy, so I might as well get more card plays, but then I just said might as well get energy because I could hoard the energy. I'm saying all the wrong things now. Oh, that card can't move cities. You're right, because it's only explorers and towns. Yeah, so the damage card, like, since this is not, it's not, target land is not coastal, so I'm not going to get the +1. How much health does an explorer have? Is it just 1? Yeah. So I could take this explorer out. But I would need energy to do that. Cities are just jerks. Yeah. And what, they're gonna take out the Dahan that's over here? So I know I'm going back and forth here. I just want to be sure that I know what's happening. I don't want to just click random things. So they ravage in the land. They deal damage simultaneously to the land and Dahan. Then any surviving Dahan fight back. Right, yeah, they're not going to do that right away. I'm just thinking. But if I move the Dahan, they damage the land. Wait, no, they do it simultaneously? So it's actually, no, they do the same damage to both, so it doesn't matter. If I move the Dahan, then... And if 2 or more damage is dealt, which is basically a town. If a town deals damage, unless we defend. Okay. Yeah, so I know I'm just... Alright, well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna do that. And I'm going to... With my 1 play... Maybe do that. I could take out that explorer. It's not coastal, so I can't do any better. I could take out that town, though. No, I can't. It's a city. Never mind. So I target... Or no, I gotta finish playing the cards, because I only got 1 card play. Now it's the fast power. Click and drag a power. Ah, so then I can hit that. Kills that explorer. That's the end of my fast power. Invader, they build in the sands, so we're gonna get a city here. But we didn't get a town in the sand. And the invaders explore, so click to flip the invader card. That is jungle. So they explore in that jungle, they explore in this jungle because there was an adjacent town. Or is it... Yeah, because it was, Wait, Dolphin played! We have damaged Grand Warlord Explorer! Yeah, so when they explore, they only explore in an adjacent tile if there's a town or a city in that. Where the hell am I looking for here? Towns act as a source of explorers when invaders explore. Explorers are not themselves a source when invaders explore. Alright. So they're going to ravage in the sands, they're going to build in the jungle. And I can reclaim my damage card, except I won't gain presence if I do that. Yeah, town, city, and ocean. So the coastal ones are always going to be targets of exploring. It is much harder to do damage. I played my damage card. I find it funny that this is a toggle. It feels like it should just be a scroll or a click and drag to me, but you do you. So this card is basically just, well, I don't, I would say it's just a card that turns a card play into energy, but it does grant you elements. The spirits are designed to work together. Well, blame the tutorial. Or it's not even a tutorial, but the, whatever they called it, the intro game. Right. So now there's currently 6 damage happening in that sand. We will certainly be losing, or we'll certainly be gaining a blight there. And because there's no blight in that, it's not, it will go there. It won't cascade. So let me double check about cascading. Oh, it would be in the ravage, right? So if that land already had blight, additional blight is added to one adjacent land. Okay. So it's not each land, it's... So if they add blight, we pick an adjacent land. If that land had blight, we pick an adjacent land as well. So it just builds up blight. We want to get rid of blight. How do we get rid of blight again? Okay, so what can we do? We can't push the city. It cascades like in Pandemic. That is, I have not played Pandemic in a long time, though. Oh yeah, I have a blight card, right. So I could remove the eventual blight we get on that. And I can add a fear. So when I add a fear, does that give me a fear card? Is that what happens? And then when I get enough fear, then I gain a terror level? And I get fear when I destroy a city or a town? Well, I'm gonna stop hitting this button every single time I have a question. If I get 4 fear, I get a card. Oh, okay. I get a token. Okay. So how does the terror level go up then? I wasn't too clear on that. Was it every 3 cards is a terror level and 4 tokens is a card? So it's, so by math, 12 tokens is a terror level. Yeah. And we can get fear by destroying cities and towns. I kind of want to gather the Dahan though, because if I gather the 2 Dahan from this land, I save them, because they're gonna die. We now turn to Ollie for the weather. Ollie? They gonna die! Thank you, Ollie! I can click the fear card stack there to see the setup. Oh, got it. Okay. So that level means, that card means terror level. Okay. I, like, at first I saw that, like, icon, I just thought that meant pause. Got it. There's no fast way to save them. Oh, you're right. This is slow. Dang it. Fair enough. Bye, Dahan. You're gone. I mean, no, I could gain a power card that might help. Do I want to gain, I just want to, oh, there's my discard. This icon means I have 1 card play. This means this is my discard. I could reclaim this card, and then I'd be able to deal damage. Watch the tutorial video, which is the same setup and performs a better opening move. Wow, shoutouts to John. John is disappointed right now. I don't know, all of these options feel like they're good to me because whenever I add presence, I get additional things. I don't really have too many things though, so I probably just want to gain power cards. But I only have 1 play right now because I chose the energy route for no good reason. I would need to add a presence in order to gain an extra play, but I don't necessarily have good plays per se. But if I reclaim the cards, I could play my hand and bring it back. Sometimes Blight going Blight. I feel like I need to build my collection of cards. So I'm just going to gain a power card and add presence. The power card, Nature's Resilience, defend 6. If you have 2 water, you may instead remove 1 fear. But it's only from a holy or a sacred site. 1 range from a sacred site. Yeah, so this would fix them if I put, well, not necessarily that, but if I put this here, that turns that into a sacred site, and then I could use the defend on the sand. And that would save the Dahan, and it would also stop me from getting a blight. But it's a band-aid. Do I want to go for extra card player? Well, getting this only doesn't increase my energy, so there's another way to make a sacred site. Oh, coastal things are, or not coastal. Wetlands counts as sacred, so I could put it in the wetlands. Okay. The Dahan will fight back even if they didn't take any damage. I know I'm doing this yet again. Oh, the Dahan will fight back even if the ravaging invaders deal no damage, but not if the ravage action has been skipped or stopped from happening. Okay, so defend won't stop it. Okay, and they will fight back, and I just freaking had this open. Each Dahan deals 2 damage to the invaders. Okay. So that's 4 damage that's happening right there. They deal bubble damage only? Is it bubble beam? Was it from a TM? They're angered by bubbles. So 4 damage is enough to take out an explorer in either the city or town. Okay, so it makes sense to me that we would want to play Nature's Resilience. And I will not have 2 water. This gives me earth, not grass. That's the Pokemon type. Leaf. An animal. It's not leaf. I know it's not leaf. Forest. No, it's not forest. Wood. So this, if I have 1 sun and 2 water, that's not helping me in any capacity for that. So I'll just ignore the element symbols. Right now, they're not doing anything for me. Okay, so is it better to spread out the presence or to make a holy site? I guess, like, technically I'd have a holy site and presence. Pencil Cardassian Cruiser Wolverine. I'll just put this here. And it acts as a holy site, or a sacred site. And then I have 2 plays and 2 energy, and we're definitely going to use this one. This one, not click and drag, just click. And we have 1 energy left. Sometimes it's a good idea not to play your best card. Just because you can play a card doesn't mean you should play a card. But getting fear helps us win the game, right? It will also get us cards that can help. Wash Away is really good. And it's slow. Yeah, that's probably fair. And actually, well, they're going to build in these squares. Tiles, these tiles. If I have Wash Away prepped, I can move the Explorer and the town that's in the grass, and then we won't have a ravage happening there. Hey, I wasn't saying slow is bad. I'm just trying to say slow meaning I have to think not immediately. There's the Aeon's End reference. All right. Defend 6. We have 4 damage remaining. I would imagine that town is better than city for what like if I have a choice between leaving a town or leaving a city, I should leave a town. If I had that prepped. Oh, I see. So now I need to do that. There we go. Ah, yeah, and that gives me fear because I killed things. Yeah! All right, that was my second turn. Almost. No, we're not done yet. But like, hey, that's all right. Mountains. Okay. Um. Hmm. I think I just want to push from the jungle. They'll attack the presence, right? Oh, I'm not quitting game. Oh, they only deal damage to the land and Dahan. Oh, right. Never mind. They don't attack the presence. The only thing that deals with the presence is a blight. Okay. But if they do damage, if they ravage in this land and they deal damage to this land, then there'll be a blight, and that blight will remove that presence. So it seems prudent to me that I want to push from this land. What, do I want to move these guys back to the Defend 6 area? I'll need to move at least the town. Right, yeah. Is it better to congregate everyone into a single tile and defend 6 there? Well, no, because if I take more than 6, then that's bad. I mean, I probably don't want the towns to be... I mean, yeah, the defend will go away. I didn't mean that will stay there permanently. What I was thinking is that in a future turn, I could reclaim the defend 6 to defend the Dahan there and have that same sequence of actions happen again. But for that to happen, they would need to build it. They would need to explore and build in that tile. So, I mean, I probably don't want to move these to the mountains, right? Because that would make them build a city there. So absolutely not in the mountain. Oh yeah, highest level of my innate would deal 2 to all. Yeah, so then they should be grouped. So let's go ahead and group them then. Yeah, I got it. So they're gonna ravage in this jungle. There's only one Dahan here. But if we do the defend 6 again, which I would have to reclaim cards in order to get. The issue with that is that I don't place any more presence. But we do have the board covered right now. Just not necessarily with Holy Site coverage, but... I mean, adding presence would allow me to get more plays and energy, but getting cards would give me more options. So, reclaim and gain a power, I think. And that gives me pull beneath the hungry earth. If target land has your presence, 1 fear and 1 damage. If target land is sands or wetlands, 1 damage. And it's slow. But now we can defend the Dahan in the grassland. They're going to build a town in both of these. Yeah, that's right. So I can either gain energy or I can damage. And the damage would be enough to take out a town, which would give me fear. And if I defend in here, the Dahan would also take out the Explorer, which gives me fear. That is a little bit of wasted damage. I could damage an Explorer in one of these and stop that town from forming. And that would allow me to be able to push one of... Oh, I can't push. That's slow. I would be able to push one after they build, but I won't be able to push both. No fear for killed Explorers. Oh, okay. I thought I got fear when I killed an Explorer here, though. But if it's cities and towns only. People go missing all the time. I destroyed the city. Oh, city is 2 fear. That's right. Got it. I thought it was 1 per. It's not. It's not. Doy. Although, actually, the 2 damage... Actually, no, if I do 2 damage here and Dahan does 2 damage, the damage isn't recovered until the end of the turn, so we could take out a city and then explore again. But if I do that, then I don't have anything for the... Yeah, it blocks all their damage. Yeah, I'm probably better off just using the damage card to save the mountain, or one of the mountains. I really don't want to get another blight here because of the cascade. So it's prudent that we get rid of the Explorer there. Okay. So then, wait. Oh yeah, there it is. That's. And that's. Fear! Playing river as if it's lightning. I have no idea. I'm just doing what makes immediate sense to me right now. Oh boy, double mountains. That's, not really happy about that. I feel like I need to do the same thing, but I'm just defaulting to like what I did before and will keep doing. Getting a blight isn't inherently bad, right? Because this land has no Dahan on it, so I don't have to worry about losing a Dahan. Not that losing a Dahan is inherently bad, I just like Dahan. They do damage. This is the Jeremy approach. I want things that damage. I have 5 to work with. Okay. Because, so, whoops, resume. Because that's what this is saying, is that I have 5 fear per player. This fear, or not fear, that is entirely the wrong word, 5 blight. So there's 1 blight on the board, but there's 5 in reserve. I only need my last hit point. Okay. So, like, I don't need to defend this. And I also don't need to do anything here, because the Explorer will hit the Dahan, but the Dahan will hit the Explorer. The Explorer only does 1, but the Dahan does 2, but it doesn't matter because the Explorer only has 1. So I don't have to attack this Explorer. The Dahan has it covered. So if I want to, like, use these special things of pushing, or instead damaging and pushing, or instead damaging, I obviously need the elements. So I need to build up to that. A lot of these are water, that's good. Some of these are sun, but not all. That's the silver lining of 2 of the same terrain in a row. A lone Explorer and Dahan duke it out, then there's no build. Okay. Right, because they just, so that Explorer just moved there, and then they're going to ravage, but okay. Okay, got it. But taking out the cities and towns is what makes the exploring a little weaker, although they will always explore from the coast. So the settlements that we have on the east mean that every time we explore... Actually, currently, whenever they explore, they're going to put 2 explorers, always. Just because we have a city in the west grass, we have a town, or at least a town in the sand on the east, we have a town in the mountain on the east, so whenever there's an explorer, it's going to get rid of, or it's going to put an explorer. So I need to focus on the things on the right side. I absolutely need to focus on that. Unfortunately, my primary source of damage is flash floods, but that isn't going to do enough damage to take out a town or a city. I can move the settlements though, so I can move them with wash away, and then I don't have to destroy them. If there's only one settlement, yeah. And I kind of want to gather Dahan so that we can have more defense as long as they survive. Which, if there's enough Dahan, then the explorer and town and city damage spreads across the Dahan, right? My innate also pushes. Right, okay. I haven't used it because I haven't gotten it yet, but I need to play one water and 2 sun. This gives me 1 water and 1 sun, so then I just need to play another water. Oh, I can't spread the damage. Oh, right, yeah, that's right. The rules said you do it. They always do it efficiently. You can't choose it. Okay, that's right. And the damage to land always happens. Okay. So I need 2 water. I could do Wash Away. Oh, actually, I gotta do this first. Well, if I do River's Bounty and Wash Away, I would get enough to gather Dahan, push up to 3, and also push an additional one that doesn't have to be in the same land. They could be beaten to within half of their life and make a full recovery. And what was the one that only works off of holy sites? Nature's Resilience. If I make this a sacred site, I would have sacred site coverage of 1 range everywhere. I'm just thinking, do I want to... I should probably always gain a card, or I should always, but I gotta build my hand. So I'm gonna gain a power card. Accelerated Rot. 2 fear, 4 damage. And then things. Oh, but it was a big power, so I have to forget 1. Okay. It's a major power. Major power. But it targets jungle and wetland for 2 fear and 4 damage. There's damage. It's a lot of energy, though. Yeah, you can forget from your discard. I know that. And if you also have all those special symbols, which this card provides 1 of each magically... I know. I was referring to Mike, by the way. You can't play that with turn with just 2 energy. Yeah, I know. I don't know yet which is good and which is bad. The answer is they're all situationally good. There are some that are situationally always good. The situation is always. But the ones that don't give me sun... Because all of these give me water. Except for Nature's Resilience. Nature's Resilience... doesn't give me any sun or water. It does give me earth, but this gives me defend, and that's good. This gives me sun and water, and it's fast damage. This gives me fear. This also gives me fear. This is a card where if I have more presence coverage, then this card is better. But it can also do damage without that. But I need the sacred site in the place. Not sacred site. The presence needs to be in the place that I'm targeting in order to be able to deal damage and gain fear. But that, I mean, I feel like that's fine. This removes Blight, which is the only thing I have that removes Blight, but the Blight is currently on a spot where it doesn't... I mean, it also gives me fear, though. What does the chat think? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do whatever the chat says. Boon. Yeah, of the options that I see, it like the energy is certainly would allow me to do the one that costs 4 energy. Put out more presents instead of gaining that card. Well, I'm not gonna rewind. See, if I had known the order of the deck, John. Leave the island. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll lose food. All right, and then I can gain my presence. In order to get this card useful, I need to work towards getting more energy. So I'm going to gain a presence. So I kind of want to put this in a sand or wetland, but I don't know. What do I want to play this turn? I haven't really decided yet. Or no, I think I did decide. I'm going to gather Dahan and I'm going to push things. This has range 0, so if I want to move the Dahan to a place where... I mean, I guess it's not really going to work too well because they're ravaging and building in the same place, so I can't necessarily, like... Oh no, this is slow, so it happens after they build. And then they would ravage. Oh, but I can't... See, the problem is, like, I would like to be able to gather Dahan to where I have, like, this only gathers to where I am, so I wanted to play that. I don't know if I should. I could try to plan a few turns ahead. The thing that's limiting me there, though, is I don't know what the explorers are doing. Other than they're ravaging and building. They're going to explore in a spot, which, I mean, granted, they're going to explore in any two tiles, and I could try to plan around that. How many turns until you can afford that major power? Migrant? Shush. It happened. Deal with it. Well, no, I'm definitely going to wash away because I'll be able to do something based off of what the explorer does. I can move things away from where they're exploring to. And this has range 1, so everything's covered in that regard. And I'll still have 1 energy left. Except you can't use accelerated rot unless you have 4 energy, Lewd. Maybe you should have just done what the tutorial video did, Lewd. That's my John voice now. So my thing here is 1 sun and 2 water, and this gives me 1 water, so I need to play something that has a sun and a water. Which I think the Dahan was just going to do anyway. And this gains me an energy. Yeah, I think I'm still just going to do what I was going to do. So then I guess this decision is where do I want the Dahan to move to? Where do I anticipate explorers going, basically? Because I can't... Well, if I put it here, it's gone. You thought John joined me? If I put it over here, though, I would be able to eventually use... I'd be able to use Pull Beneath the Hungry Earth to be able to deal additional... Oh, but it's not sand or wetland. But I could do 1 damage and get 1 fear. So I kind of want to put that in a spot where there's explorers. So that it can... I'm going to do that. It's not even 4 a.m. Alright, so Dahan and... push. And now I get this. Yay! And I have 1 energy left. So if I get another sun and water, which I can do with uncanny... Or no, I don't. I only have 2 plays. Never mind. Okay. So I have no fast. The invaders ravage in the mountains. Oh no, they damaged the Dahan. Oh no, the Dahan damaged them. And there's the blight. And now they're building the city. And they're exploring in the coastal lands. Oh, just all the coastal lands. I see how it is. It also means that, well, they're gonna build in all of those as well. So we can push 1. We can push 3, and these can push from 2 of the coastal lands, and we can gather Dahan to any place that has a thing, as long as it's an adjacent thing. Things with things. And they're gonna ravage here. And that's gonna cascade. And currently they're doing 7 damage there. I want more defend cards. So flash floods would be enough to take out one of these things. It's not really... I don't know. Man, if only I had gotten extra things. If only I'd known a major power was coming up. John. So push, push, gather Dahan, which would give me an energy and an extra Dahan, but... I could have had that blighted mountain emptied already. Alright, we're gonna need to move things out of here, I think. Let's push those. And they're going to build in the coastal, so I don't want them to go to the coastal. Oh, I can't click and drag. For some reason, I thought it was different. Yeah, I know you can't move the city. Or unless you're talking about Merlin, in which case, yeah. Then I can push one. How do I do that? Oh, do I need to actually use the power? No, that doesn't... Oh, duh, click. If I can't move the city, what's the point of moving any of them? Plot. Yeah, I know. Undo. So really I'm just gonna have to accept that there's gonna be a cascading blight there, so fine. You're just all gonna live in the sands and you're gonna be happy. Yeah. I have a plan. It's not a good plan. I have a plan. So for my plan to work, I'm going to need... Well, they're not going to ravage this turn, so it's not a big rush, is it? If I add 2 presences, I would have... I could get 4 energy. Yeah, I didn't think that far ahead when I moved the Explorer there. I'm thinking one action at a time. That's where I'm at right now. Rewind. No. This game's still winnable. Maybe. I don't know. I want them to have a chance to win. I'm just trying to figure out how many things I can do that will tick off John. I'm just trying to figure out all the ways to antagonize John in this game. That's my new plan. Everything I do. Don't worry, I'm not actually good at this game. Alright, I'm gonna add 2 presences. I'm gonna add one here, add one here. Yeah! Look at all the presents we have! Look at all this land I have! Now I have 6 energy! Woo! Actually, no, I don't want to. What am I doing? No. No. I want that. There we go. Yeah. So only targets jungle or wetland. So I can't use it on the mountain. I can do 2 fear and 4 damage, although I have this all set up for the dawn, but I'm just gonna get a... what was that? 3, 4, 5, plus the town is 7. If I defend 6, it's only 1 damage. Oh. You're right, there is going to be a cascaded. Yep, rewind. We did, but now we don't. Uh-oh. Okay, well, I'll still put this there. I mean, I feel like that's, well, that will give me a fear if I attack you. So I'm gonna play this. And then once I defend 6 here, then I don't have to worry about anything in this one. I can remove the blight that gets added there. So Uncanny Melting will remove the blight that cascades there. This gives me massive flooding, yay! And if I play this card, I can't. Imagine playing more than 2 cards. If only there was a way you could play more than 2 cards. Okay, so yeah, so now we only have two things left, but that's fine. They build a town there. Now they're going to explore in wetlands. All right. So we can stop a town from being made with moving. I was going to use this to take this guy out. I'm not sure if I'll actually, before I do that, because I'm going to gain a card, I'm going to rewind, because I will gain information, right? Because I could instead use this to damage the explorers that appeared in the wetlands, and then I can move the other explorer, and then their building is a waste because they're not going to build anything because the wetlands will have nothing. So that's what I should just do, right? The guy in his hand, yeah, he's not doing anything, so that was a waste. I'll just do that. Where do I want to move you, though? Well, one of these I can take out. One of these I can move. Is there any rhyme or reason for one or the other? I guess the guy... I mean, like, so what? We have 3, 5, 6, 7 here. If I add another one here, my defend 6 isn't going to stop a Dahan or a Blight from happening. Imagine you do nothing on the top land. What happens? They build a settlement. Or they build a town. Oh, they're ravaging. Right. Oh! They're ravaging, but right, the Dahan will take it out, so I don't have to move that. Okay. That's what you're getting at. Ta-da! Mm-hmm. But man, if only I hadn't picked that 4 energy card, then I would be so much better off. Okay. So I don't have to do anything about the settler up there. I do need to do, or not settler, explorer. I should do something about the explorer down here. I mean, it still kind of leaves me in a situation where I don't know. I mean, so when I get the 4th fear token, I get a card, right? And I have no idea what the card is. Or do I know what the card is? Or could I know what the card is if a competent programmer made this game so you can actually see all the information you're supposed to have? I don't know what it is, okay. But it's a card that I gain, right? They resolved one at a time in the order they were earned. They then discarded. Oh, no, I don't gain it. And it happens during the invader phase that would happen. That power card would be great. On the bottom wetland, you get fear and damage. Well, doesn't it happen in both wetlands? Is that, are we talking about this card here? But what's different between the bottom and the top? I mean, I know... Oh. Okay. All right. Sorry, forgot already what we just talked about. And I'm going to do it here to get rid of that blight. Okay, and then I'm moving. But what? And where? And why? It'd make a little more sense to move a town? Except, well, they're not gonna build until after the Explorer, and if they explore when there's... Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm just gonna do it. That land is terrible, but we'll figure it out. Alright, so now I gotta reclaim my cards in order to get the defend 6. Can you push things into the ocean to drown them? If target land has an explorer, push all the explorers. Otherwise, remove one blight targeting mountains and jungle. Okay. Okay, we have 9 energy, by the way. That is... Well, we have a fear, and we don't know what's going to happen with that fear, but... Yeah, we only still have 2 cards, so I can't really get the 3/2/3. So John's mad. Well, so we're definitely... So the thing that's absolutely happening is this. I can't play from that. I have to play from this. And I have 1 card left. This is not a water card, so it's not going to get me this innate power. Just kidding. I'm not doing that. I'm just looking. It's like when you go into a grocery store and the cashier's like, "Can I help you with anything?" I'm fine, just looking. Should I gather Dahan? Get more Dahan? I don't know where they're exploring next. The building in the wetland we've averted. The coastal lands we're dealing with. When in doubt, add fear. And if I do it... If I pull on the bottom... sands, I also kill the Dahan. Although it doesn't matter. I mean, this is what? Just 1 range if it has it. Okay, yeah, so... I'll have a turn to take a breath. Yeah! Breath of the Wild! Not Dahan, sorry, Explorer. I'm not saying killing Dahan. Or do we push all of the guys over into the mountain? So we have Death Mountain. Pushing literally everything into the mountain is a good idea. Yeah, we did it. We found a move that John likes. All right. The fear. Each player removes 1 explorer from a coastal land. Well, these guys are just dead. Right? 3, 5, 6, 7 versus 4 Dahan. Yeah, they're dead. So really, the answer is this one. Nice. Oh yeah, they're all already dead. Well, for the 3rd time, you're right. I keep forgetting that. I'm all focused on Dahan taking damage and in the thing. Okay, whatever. All right. Well, it's not the worst thing. So we're still gonna push. I think it's push all but the explorer. Yeah, we didn't get one down here because there was no settlement. No, I keep saying settlement. No town or city. Do lone explorers do anything other than... I mean, okay, yeah, this guy's gonna build, yeah. Just super Death Mountain. Okay. And they ravage for 1 damage, yeah. Okay. We could flash floods to take out that explorer or the other explorer to avoid the town. We could also... We could also use Pull Beneath the Hungry Earth to be able to do 2 damage to the town in the bottom thing. Okay. So I don't need to reclaim then. Don't need to defend, don't need to push. The wetlands, nothing's happening. If only I had more cards. Maybe now's the time to get 2 presences. Because John yells at me every time I gain a card. Because if I do that, then I can get up to 3 card plays. Jungle or wetland? Well, there's no damage in the jungle or wetland right now. I mean, I could just get 2 fear off of this, but that's a lot of energy, but I am gaining 4 energy per turn, so I can afford it. I could prep a River's Bounty. Prep, yep, the word prep, by the way. I could prep the River's Bounty. Where was it? It was that one. That's sun and ocean, or water, whatever it was. I keep forgetting what they're all called. So I could play, if I get 3 card plays, I could set up for, instead, 2 damage, push up to 3. Okay. So I'm gonna do that then. And I think, so still, we haven't had much... We haven't had many things that are based off of holy sites. The only one is Uncanny Melting. But that's currently reaching everything. So, and I don't need to turn the wetlands into holy sites. So maybe I should put 1 here. And I probably don't want to put 1 in Death Mountain. My innate power. Oh! That is also a not holy site, sacred site. But it also hits everything right now, so that also doesn't matter. I'll just make that a holy site. Or sacred site. And yeah, I've been thinking about the innate power. So we have 3 card plays. I gotta get 3 waters and 2 suns. All of these are waters. Most of them are suns. Do I want to do the damage to stop the build? Probably. And then I can use this to take out one of them. This gives me that power. I can also, so like the Dahan in this sand will take out that town or that explorer if I take out the town. So I can pull Beneath the Hungry Earth on the east to take out that town. I can flash floods the south in order to stop the town from being built. And then I can then build up damage on the bad guys on the east. So everyone's focused on the east right now, so I feel like it's fine, but I don't know. And I could have Song of Sanctity in case we reveal a mountain or a jungle when they explore, and then they won't build. Well, no, if they reveal a jungle, it doesn't matter. If they reveal a mountain, they just add another explorer here, but it's like... But if I take out their explorers, they can't build there. Oh yeah, it's coastal, you're right, yeah. Oh yeah, there's also this. Which I can afford. Do I have enough? No, I don't. Oh, and I could also use that on the middle jungle, or middle mountain. Okay. Alright. I keep wanting to click and drag from that to play it. Okay. I think that's... I have a cheaper fear card. Like, this one? Yeah, I think that's fine. Maybe? We'll pretend it is. Uncanny melting. Let's rewind. Oh yeah, that does one fear, you're right. It's my first game! Learn things! Yeah, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. So then this will... we want to take out this guy. Oh, I'm getting a fear card each turn? Okay, I guess that's cool. I didn't realize it was each turn. I thought it was just the first time you accumulate enough fear. Okay. So we remove one from an inland. Well, that's only this one, I guess. Oh! I am like, I can't remember all the things I did 5 minutes ago. That's what I feel like. Yeah, I got enough fear. I didn't even realize it. So we're like one away from getting to the next thing. Oh, jungle and wetlands. I see what's going on here. Stage 3. Does that mean that we've almost exhausted the deck? Is that what that means? Yeah, I see the 3 and the 2. How many cards are there? And how many stages are there is the other question. It means that. Oh, that's not good. There are 5 stage 3 cards. Is that my interpretation of that? So Okay, so we have 4 more cards left in the Explorer, and when the Explorer deck is empty, or when there's no Explorer card to play, that's when the game is over. So I gotta finish this quickly then. Okay, well, if I take out the cities and I get to the next victory condition... then the game's over. But they're going to build towns here, and then they're going to ravage those lands. But they're currently ravaging... we're going to use this to take out the town. Do better. Win hard or lose hard, baby. Okay, and then we have the one that says we could push or remove a blight. And we also have the one that deals 2 damage and pushes 3. Okay. But they're currently going to I'm not caring about the ravage. They're currently going to build in the jungle and the wetlands. How much of that do I care about? Well, that's just one city. Yeah, so if I take out that city and I stop any other city from being made, then we win. I mean, after I get enough terror, that's part of it. What is that saying? What's that? If I click on a growth, it gives me an angry beep. Here's where Lewd learns about ordering your slow powers carefully. Blame Jean-Marc. I'm trying to think what John is hinting at here. Oh. Wait. I guess that means I could move a Explorer and then use this to hit them, but no, that wouldn't. I don't know. Oh, this one as well. Die. Oh, I want to move things. I also want to deal with the mountain. The mountain's not doing anything right now, though. They're just gathering in the mountains. But if I do the 2 damage, I get a fear. I have a bit of a galaxy brain right now. Yeah, I could... I could push all... What is this, targeting mountains or jungles? I could push the jungle into the wetland. And then I can 2 damage to kill the 2 explorers. I mean, that's not necessarily what you're thinking of. That's something that would take out 2 of the builds next turn. That was it! That was the galaxy brain! Well, that wasn't your galaxy brain. Or, that wasn't my galaxy brain. My galaxy brain was, hey, they're gonna ravage in the desert. How about we push 2 of the towns and an explorer into the desert? Or not even... Or no, there's only 2 Dahan here. Why don't we push 3 explorers over here and do a defend 6 over here, and the Dahan kill all the explorers for us? Yay! But that doesn't really contribute anything at all. It just takes out explorers, which are expendable at this point. That's fine too. Yeah, no, the builds I'm more worried about then. So, yeah, so really it's move one of these somewhere and then flood the crap out of them. All right, we'll just do that. It's fine. Everything's fine. I mean, this will take out whatever town builds in the wetland, so I guess I'm not worried about that. The jungle over here... I could gather Dahan there, and then with a defend, they would take it out. And then I have a fear card. So if I just play my hand right now, that's 3 water, 3 sun, 0 leaf, so I don't get the +5 damage. Or 1 leaf. Not 3 leaf. But I would still have the 2 damage and push 3. So I don't need to gain a card or reclaim cards. I can make John happy. Actually, I can reclaim 1. And that's per turn that I reclaim 1. So then I would be less reliant on the reclaim cards option, right? Gain 1 energy is now so small when I'm gaining 4. Just saying. Yes, once per turn. Okay. Nice. So do I want to gain a card or gain a presence, really? If I get 2 presences, and I get the reclaim 1, then I can also get an extra card play, which means I could reclaim, let's see, I'm spending 5 energy and I'll have 6 left over. Yeah, so I could do something extra, maybe. So I guess I'm gonna take 2 presences then. Very tempted to throw it to the thing. Which one was range 0? This one? Yeah, I'm gonna put 1 here. Which is probably a terrible idea, but I can move Dahan there. Maybe someday. And now every island has been claimed. Yeah! So I'll make this a sacred site. Now I have to think about what I want to reclaim. That's a fear. I want fear, right? And it also does 1 damage, which is... okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pull. And I'm gonna play my hand. Oh boy. Oh boy. I didn't even think about that. We got this level now. Cool. 2 damage to each invader. That annihilates the mountain. Well, not annihilates, but maybe. All right, flip the invader. They're exploring in the sands and the mountains. Okay. And now they're gonna ravage in the jungle and the wetlands. There's all 4 lands there, by the way. Am I worried about this? Currently, jungle and wetlands would get blights, but You perform the steps in your innate power from the top down. Does that mean that it's instead 2 damage to each invader, so only that is occurring? Unless I limited it. I mean, yeah, in general, it would go from top down. But I think there was something about if it's your innate power, yeah, you can stop at any tier. Ah, by clicking right here. Okay, got it. Yeah, I can't just change my mind later. So our blights are not anywhere. So really, this is just to get a fear. And I don't think it matters if I play that before or later. So this is 2 damage to each invader, which basically means everything but that city will be gone, right? I mean, I can just try that out and see. Yeah. That's excessively good, by the way. And did we already win then? Oh no, because the city's still there. No, we have to win then. Which I can do with this. We got an extra card, by the way. Do I only win after the... Oh, it's also... Oh, never mind. I thought it was just cities, but no. I have to get rid of... Okay, so I can leave the villagers. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Okay, so that means then... Jungle or wetlands. That's a jungle. That's a wetlands. We can also gather Dahan to 1 or both of these. They're gonna ravage, yeah. So if they ravage and we defend, we win. So I just have to do this. 2 fear, 4 damage. You know, because we're not You know, it's, you know, we kind of need to have 3 cards in addition to the terror level. Just like that it pops out. Boop! The 2 Dahan came together and formed the 3rd Dahan. Alright. I'm gonna just reclaim all my cards. I could basically skip here and win. Yeah, because they, even if I don't defend and they kill Dahan and I get a blight, I mean, it doesn't matter because the surviving Dahan would kill them all. Oh no, I got a major card. I have to forget something. And I know I've won, I just want to see these. Only coastal. 2 fear, 8 damage, destroy 2 Dahan! Oh. If you have 3 ocean and 2 land, or 2 mountain in each other coastal land in the same board, 1 fear, 4 damage, and destroy 1 Dahan. Yeah, if there's no Dahans to destroy, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah. It's fine. Why would I push things when I can just kill things? I mean, this card's been great. Oh, that's not my discard. So just like theory crafting here. If this game were to proceed, and we gotta just think about what's good, because this is how you learn, is not just winning, but figuring out how to improve your next game. So keeping the water cards is important, keeping the sun cards is important, keeping the earth card is important. So anything that doesn't necessarily provide those is a little less valuable. Like, Wash Away is a basic effect of pushing 3 things away, but it only provides a water, which all my other cards do, basically, except for 1 of them. And it provides an earth, but half of my other cards provide that. Actually, no, it's only 3 cards, which includes this one, so only 2 other cards do that. But I only need 1 earth, which could be the one that gives me 1 fear and 1 damage, and maybe another damage. I mean, like, this is super expensive at 6 energy. We can sort of afford it, but it would be most of our energy. But, like, this gives me fear and a bunch of damage that could potentially give me a lot of fear as well. And if I build up enough, I mean, I guess I need a mountain for that, don't I? So a lot of what I just said is wrong. But I would probably just discard Wash Away. I guess, like, pushing 3, though, is still fine, but... Like, my innate power, if I power it up enough, also pushes up to 3 and deals damage. Granted, I could push up to 3 and also push up to 3. Well, I'll just forget Wash Away. It doesn't matter, but I'll do that. Alright, so the one that saves the Dahan is the defend. And if I just want to, like, wipe the field, although I guess by the time the Dahan retaliate, it's over. But I could do damage. I'll just play that card so that I have it. And actually... Well... Oh yeah, I'm not getting a 4 water because I'm playing Nature's Resilience. Oh darn. But I have 2 sun, so I just need a water. I'll just play that one. I could just flash floods for the win. Nah, I'll have my Dahan buddies take care of it all. Invaders do not build in lands where Dahan outnumber things. Nice. And also the other effect that I couldn't read that quickly. Or are we are actually only doing that one? Never mind. Each player removes 2 things or 1 thing with things. Sure, that one. Oh, that's... Oh, look at this. You have to destroy things in your own land. All right, well... We won. All right. We turned that around. And poor Jim over there was like, no, forget me, I'm leaving. All the invader settlements have been destroyed and their morale is not strong enough to weather this loss. They depart the island for their faraway home. All right, guys, that's how you learn Spirit Island. That's a fun game. I like that. It took me a long time to kind of figure out a lot of the mechanics. I know some people early on were like, what, he's still reading? So terrible. But thank goodness I read, because I was better tuned in to some game mechanics. Although it took John to remind me 3 times that the Dahan was going to kill that explorer in the north. But yeah, that worked pretty well. And again, I didn't really know anything of this game before. Like, I've lurked in Handelabra streams, the Handelabra live streams, when they played Spirit Island, but I also never really paid that much attention to it. I always was like playing a game to the side. I'm really bad at just sitting down and watching people, and only watching people. I always have to be doing my own thing. But hey, you'll send it to your mom so she can learn. Yeah, so we'll probably do what we did with Aeon's End. I'm sure that Jeremy and John and Handelabra in general has been planning for this early access release for months, like on this week. I only found out about it like last week. Which means that my stream schedule is going to be a little upheaved then, because I want to focus on Spirit Island so I can get better acclimated to game mechanics. So ordinarily I would be splitting my weeks between Sentinels of the Multiverse and One Deck Dungeon and Aeon's End in alternating weeks. But it might just be that for the next month I'll play Spirit Island. And then I have to figure out how to work Spirit Island into my repertoire. I'll need to get a better handle at how long Spirit Island games are. Does this thing say any indicator? I don't... Oh no, 90 to 120 minutes. That's what it says. If I want to dive more than once a week. Alright, so welcome to the daily Dolphins dive stream. We'll figure it out. I might combine Sentinels and Spirit Island. I mean, they're both greater than games products. And then we can combine One Deck Dungeon and Aeon's End. They're not the same company, but that's just how I've been mixing it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes going forward. But thank you for tuning in, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this stream. I hope this learning experience was useful. I hope you enjoyed me reading out the instructions and dealing with ants in the middle of the stream, which thankfully I've not seen since. But it was Sentinels of the Spirit Dungeons End of the 9th, yes. I mean, I'm sure at some point I'm going to have to do a stream where I do all 4 games in a single stream. Probably not going to happen in a single 2-hour span. It would have to be an extended, super fun, long marathon stream. But we could certainly, I don't know, plan for that over the summer. It's actually because of the COVID situation and how my schools have been dealing with it. I think it's actually very likely that I'm not going to be teaching this summer, because I know that one campus, or at least, I mean, both campuses are moving to remote instruction for the summer as well. And enrollment for both schools has been lowered as the result, because people don't want to do remote instruction. So it's likely that as an adjunct, I work part-time at both schools, so I'm kind of like lower on the totem pole. It's likely I'm not going to be assigned something for one or both schools. So it's possible that I will have more time over the summer, which means that I'll be able to stream more. And that applies not just for the Handelabra channel, but also my channel. But yeah, that's possible that this summer is going to be a little sad on the lewd end. But assuming that the stimulus checks are a routinely thing, as they seem to suggest, although who knows, because it's America deciding to bail out airlines. We'll see how it goes. I am financially stable right now. Like, I can't just do whatever, but like if I have to go a summer without pay, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. It would have been a lot worse 3 years ago if I did not have money and this happened, but it's... Yeah, Trump wants to declare the COVID war over. But yeah. Let's hope it's not the end of the world. Like, I'm just hopeful that I'll still have something for the fall, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. I'm not really worried about it right now. It's just what is. But that's looking ahead. I'm still fine for like my next month of teaching, I think, so whatever. Yeah, so the other Sentinel product, or the other Handelabra product, Sentinels of the Multiverse, Bottom of the Ninth, One Deck Dungeon, and Aeon's End are available on Steam, iOS, and Android devices. And Spirit Island is in early access on Steam as of today. So if you'd watched the stream and you wished you could play this game, congratulations, you too can play Spirit Island digitally now. It is fantastic. Check out the other streams we have on this channel. We have Handelabra Live every Tuesday with John and sometimes Jeremy, who like to show some Handelabra products before they are publicly available, or some content before it's publicly available. Dolphin's Live every Thursday at 7 p.m. with yours truly doing some Handelabra products. I've kind of turned into a jack of all trades over here. Still have not done Bottom of the Ninth yet. Don't know if I will. I do have that. I haven't played it yet though, but maybe we could do a learning stream as well. And On Deck every Saturday at 8 p.m. with Pirate Savvy and Dover, a brother-sister duo that like to have some fun shenanigans between Sentinels and One Deck Dungeon and Aeon's End. And not Bottom of the Ninth, Tales from the Archive. Bottoms from the Ninth. No. Tales from the Archive with another lit down for some storytelling Sentinels. That's Sunday at 7 p.m. Yeah, and yeah, welcome to early access. That's what that says. Feedback. Enter a short summary of your... Or is it because it's bug or suggestion? Enter a short summary of your bug, enter a short summary of your suggestion, enter a short summary of your other. All right, well, thanks for watching everyone. Have a good night, and I'll see you next time.